Right now, millions of people are trying to escape the US, while at the same time, millions are trying to find a way in. But if you think a global move tour from the US, Spain, Portugal, Ghana, Jamaica, Haiti, the United Kingdom, Canada, or some other country will automatically solve your problems, think again. Most people make a massive mistake that ruins their move. They focus 100% on the chaos, the visa, the flights, and basic survival, but they forget the ultimate question: what are you actually building on the other side? Growing up in Kingston, Jamaica, I learned that survival is never enough. Positioning is everything. If you're planning an international move, whether from New York to Accra, Miami to Cap-Haïtien, or anywhere else across the globe, you must understand that the grass isn't greener just because you changed countries. The grass becomes greener where you properly position yourself. In this video, I will share 5 positioning truths that you must know before you book that flight to cross that border. Welcome back. I'm Angie Marie. In this space, we help you build a life of purpose, strategy, and global impact. Today, we're breaking down positioning truths every global citizen or expat needs to know in order to thrive. Hit that subscribe button and let's dive right into truth number 1. Truth number 1, position by choice, not by accident. I first learned this principle as a 7-year-old girl in primary school back in Kingston, Jamaica. I was somewhat on the taller side, and because I didn't want to block the view of the kids behind me, I chose to sit at the sides of the classroom right up front. It was an intentional choice based on what I needed to focus and what my community needed to succeed. Where you position yourself determines what you see, what you experience, and what you build. You have talent, drive, and a dream. Think about games like Monopoly, Ludo, or Snakes and Ladders. Yes, you roll the dice and you don't know what number you will get, but you still need a strategy. You cannot control the roll of the dice, but you can always control your direction. Stop drifting, know what you're building, and position yourself accordingly. Truth number 2, be aware of your space and your impact. Position yourself as both a learner and a contributor. This is especially true for those of you who are returning to your homeland after spending years abroad. Whether you're returning to Ghana, Jamaica, Haiti, or anywhere else in the world, these principles apply. Even if you're returning to your familiar space, things do change. You're not the same person who left. Your homeland also has changed. The culture may have shifted a bit also. The economy is definitely different, especially if you've spent years overseas. Do not assume that because you were born somewhere, you automatically understand the version of that place as it is today. Observe, listen, learn, then decide where you fit in and where you can contribute. Truth number 3, the edges give you clarity that the center does not. As a child in Kingston, sitting toward the sides of the classroom meant that I could see the classroom differently. So even though I'm focused on the teacher and the board, you still have a peripheral vision where you can see your surroundings. I wasn't in the middle of the noise, but I had a clear view of exactly what was happening. Those early observations taught me much about positioning that I carry with me to this day. When you enter a country, even if it is your own homeland, sometimes the smartest position is slightly outside the center. Observe before you commit. Watch how people behave. Listen before you speak. Study the opportunities and understand the risks. The first people you meet when you land are not necessarily the people who will help you build your future. Beware of burnout. You do not have to join every community group, accept every invitation, and you do not have to chase every shiny opportunity. All that glitters is not gold. Give yourself permission to stand on the edge and watch first. Being on the outside gives you a wider and clearer view of the entire landscape. True leaders don't need to be the loudest person in the room. They just need to understand the room. They need to be able to read the room, see the patterns, and notice what other people are missing. Sometimes stepping back is exactly how you move forward. All right, so that brings us to truth number 4. Anticipating the entrance gives you control. There's a powerful strategic lesson right there. Positioning is not just about where you're standing today. It is about what you can see coming tomorrow. If you are a returning member of the diaspora or someone building a life across borders, you cannot afford to live entirely in survival mode. You have to watch the horizons. We have to be willing to ask the hard questions. What is happening with local immigration policies? Where is the economy heading? Which industries are growing and which ones are shrinking? What are the risks that may be emerging? You don't have to live in fear though. You just need to stay informed and make wise choices based on that information. If you're thinking about moving to another country, do not wait until you land to learn how their system works. Research the job market right now. Understand the real cost of living. Master the legal requirements. Build relationships before you arrive. And if you are already there, do not stop paying attention just because you became comfortable. The world changes fast. Regulations do change. Economies shift. Your ability to anticipate those changes determines whether you are constantly reacting in a panic or whether you are completely prepared. Strategic positioning means asking yourself, what is coming next and what do I need to do to prepare for it? Truth number 5. As with many African and Caribbean households, growing up, education was everything in my family. From primary school, there was a deep understanding that what you put into your mind determines exactly how far you can go in this life. When you move into a new environment, it is going to test your foundation to its absolute limits. But when you know your worth, your values, and what you are building, you can adapt without ever losing yourself. You can enter a new culture without abandoning your identity. And that brings me right back to that 7-year-old girl in Kingston, Jamaica, sitting toward the side of the classroom so she wouldn't block everyone else's view. I didn't know it back then, but I was learning a lesson that would follow me through different countries, careers, and seasons of my life. Where you position yourself matters. I cannot emphasize this enough. So if you're preparing to move across the world right now or have already made that leap, stop asking, how am I going to survive? Instead, ask the much bigger question, what am I positioning myself to build? Of course, survival could get you through the transition, but positioning determines your success after you arrive. So choose your position. Understand your space. Watch from the edges when you need clarity. Keep your eyes on the entrance and build a foundation that's strong enough to carry you wherever you go. You cannot control every roll of the dice, global citizen, but you always decide where you are trying to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If this message resonated with you, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. And feel free to share this video with someone who could be helped by it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 5 truths hit home the most for you? Let's talk about it. Until next time, this is Angie Marie. Keep building, keep positioning, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.